Hey, howdy, hi, hello, hola, privyet, bonjour, guten tag, what is up, Vikings? How goes it? Welcome to the first stream of 2026. I hope you guys had amazingly awesome holidays, Christmas, and New Year's. For those of you that have already celebrated Christmas, of course, the Orthodox Christmas is still upcoming, I think, in like 5 days. But anyways, happy holidays to those of you guys that celebrated them already, or belated holidays, I should say. Oh, man. It has been an interesting, crazy last month. All right, so changes. There's been quite a few changes to Vikings War of Clans in the last like couple of weeks. And I'm going to cover those. Also, check out, if you guys can, please check out the merch, memberships, and more shop. I will be adding some more merch sometime this next month. And hopefully getting some interesting new giveaways done for you guys. Check out the memberships. Updated perks will be on the way as well, as soon as I figure out what to offer for perks. Oh, goodness gracious. And, of course, quick membership shout out to... if I can find the page. To... Snowman TG, Boomer, Modib, Cats, Gwyn, and Yellow. Thank you guys for your continued support and paid memberships. Oh, man. All right. So, the new events. I hope you guys have had a fun Jotunheim so far. The new events. As it sits, Fury recently had a change. I'll cover Fury first. Fury recently had the change of adding kills to both towns and as well as fortresses. I think, like, overall, that was a well-needed change. It is nice to know exactly what categories and what points, or where we're getting what points. and having it broken down even farther is, of course, like kind of quintessential when it comes to strategy. It also helps to like know exactly how those points are going to be calculated up during a double kill round. As far as fortresses, towers, towns, etc., etc., etc. I don't know if there's really much else they can change to Fury. It's fairly well balanced or unbalanced, however you want to look at it. As far as like how our rounds go, of course, like knowing the schedule helps considerably. The thing being is like it's still kind of one of those things of if you're in a clan that doesn't pay for the schedule, you're still kind of like jumping up in the air every 3 hours to see what round you're playing, or at least trying to unlock enough of the schedule that you can see what is coming up. But the points changes overall to Fury definitely showed that they're pushing it way towards a more balanced and all-around event. Now, the new event in Jotunheim, the big, I think it's big score, Odin's Feast is the new clan event in Jotunheim. I'm not entirely certain what the ranking. It just says most points, top prizes, blah 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 blah. But if you look at this event is purely killing troops in the throne. It's not during an attack. It's not during like defense. It's just plain and simple killing troops in the throne. Now, I already know a lot of people are going to be like, well, that's only for big clans. Well, I mean, like, reality is you need to be able to send an OS. If you're trying to play the throne anyway, you have to send an OS. I'm not sure. I think, give me 1 second. Let me test a theory real quick. Figuratively, you can still attack the throne for points in that category or in that competition. I don't know exactly how well a clan would be able to max it. If like, I don't know how well exactly a clan would be able to max it if they weren't doing onslaughts. That's a little bit out of like my clan's wheelhouse. We OS like, well, everything. So, but it's kind of interesting as far as us having an event that is just purely about the throne. Aside from that, the only thing that the throne has ever really been is either been pop-ups. It's either pop-ups or it's purely like holding the throne competition itself. But now we're actually getting a kill competition for the throne. So it shows more towards activity in Jotunheim and the ability to have like a competition that's centered around the throne that is not necessarily holding. One of the things that people have complained about over the last years is that holding the throne is specifically for big clans. And well, I mean, while that's not necessarily wrong, because, I mean, it takes a lot of troops and also a lot of time to hold or go for the throne of Jotunheim. It also takes a lot of strength. So, while the throne itself, holding the throne competition, is more than likely going to lean towards the bigger clans, the Odin's Feast competition, if it stays a staple and a continuous thing in Jotunheim, it's going to be more or less general. Like, if your clan can form an OS and you can kill stuff that is sitting in there that is defending the throne in general, not necessarily holding, but you can at least hit it to kill stuff in there, you guys can still potentially max the checkpoints. Now, whether that's, like, ideal as far as troop loss, troop use, etc., that's completely beside the point. That's like a debate for a later conversation. Oh man. But more events like this. I mean, like we could start seeing events similar to this in Asgard, for instance, where it's necessarily like, okay, so you're attacking troops that are in towers. You're not necessarily holding these towers, but you're killing the troops that are in the towers for the clans holding them. That would be probably more plausible for the clans that don't sit on towers, because at least then they're going to get multiple checkpoints in multiple events as far as killing and across the board, both personal and clan. So, be interesting to see if this is like more towards the future of the game of what we're used to or not. So, just my like sneaking suspicion on it. Oh man, how has everybody's Jotunheim been so far? Ours has been relatively interesting. So, battle royale. Okay, no battle royale. There's only you and me. You gotta have more than 2 people for that, John. Get like at least 5 people. Get like 5 avatars on the bottom, and I'll start a battle royale. Ah. I'll tell you, like, one of the things about the throne, chaos just gives too much points. Man, it's hard to balance the justification or earning, I guess, of like, as far as like what we're seeing. I'll know like, I know like, I started this Jotunheim with absolutely practically 0 chaos. There we go. I started this Jotunheim with practically 0 chaos because of the simple fact of, well, knowledge. I also started it with like significantly lower marble. I think I had like 200 million marble. Now I have 1.6. So like the chaos though, I mean, doing the throne, 444 million. So it's not too bad. If I was using T9s, if I'd already gone through like a couple billion T9s and I'd only earned like say 400 million chaos, I mean the return would probably be very close to what the return is using T8s, as far as like the amount of T8s we use versus the amount of shards we get. So like I don't really know. I don't foresee it being necessarily affordable to play T9s for a lot of this yet. Just because the chaos, the amount of chaos, like I'm seeing personally, is not like overall outstanding and fantastic. I mean, I have a while before I will be on T9s anyway. But man, like the amount of chaos that people are earning versus the amount that people are spending is like, considering the fact you can't buy chaos. I mean, if I didn't have knowledge to worry about anymore, I imagine like the amount of chaos I would see would be relatively better. But like, I don't know. I don't know. You don't have to pay anybody to get in a Spartak. At least that I know of. Oh man. But yes, chaos. So like the chaos earned on the throne. It's kind of interesting. As far as like, yes, exactly. Just like shards, one day we will probably be buying chaos. Um, the fact that like we cannot currently, it's, I don't necessarily see like how people are spending this amount of T9 and still doing knowledge and other stuff, because I mean of course like doing knowledge needs gold plus chaos. So I mean the fact that people are throwing T9 around is kind of like staggering to me in general. Except for the few people I know that are pretty much maxed on knowledge. Chaos earned in traps or from traps. Like, now that's interesting. The amount of chaos that can be earned from people trapping now is probably absolutely nuts. I mean, between people hitting with like T8 or T9 in general, like, oh, I bet. I haven't looked at fair ranking for a minute. But yes, I mean, there's a few in here that I recognize as traps. Interesting. How is like, but here's a question. So, figuratively, if you run a trap, right? Your troops don't necessarily leave your town. So, what would, just out of curiosity, and I'm not knocking anybody for doing it, but just out of like morbid sheer curiosity here, what would an attack town skin or march skin what would an attack march skin be good for on a trap? just throwing that out there. Please explain the logic. There. I will like throw that up there. Oh, see, like the T4 VIP event, I think that is amazing. And Battle for the Light, okay, I mean, yeah, I suppose. Is this the fortress? Is the wolf the fortress skin? Is that a curiosity? Let me see. I can't remember anymore. Health during defense, troop defense when guarding, T9 offense, T3, offense when capturing a fortress, Or your number when sending reinforcements, influence. Yeah, I mean, like, so I can kind of see that. As far as like the troop health during defense, I could see that. But like a majority of this, like outside of Battle for the Light, I don't think a trap town would even use it, to be honest. Interesting. I mean, I'm not knocking people if they want to go for ranking. By all means, like, more power to them. Well, see, that makes sense. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm more like, if I'm going to push for something like that, granted, I don't push ranking, period. If you ever see me in ranking, it is more than likely 99% pure coincidental and accidental all at the same time. Like, that means things have converged at some point to push me into ranking enough that I'm like, I'm there. Because I don't pay attention to it. So, like, one of the things that, like, I personally look at is, like, how much am I going to use this? If I'm not going to use it necessarily, like, a good chunk and majority of the time, if I don't necessarily want to use it like a good majority of the time, like hero skins, for instance, there's a chunk of them I don't use anymore. Like, if I had a way to trade them in for something, I would. If I could sell them back to the Runic store shop or the seasonal shop to get Runics back, in order to go buy other stuff out of the Runic shop that is, like, you know, more apt to be used, I would. But, like, I don't know. I'm not like one to just look at something and be like, oh, this is new, I want it. Just for the sake of wanting it and not using it. It's like town skins. If I can't max them, if I can't afford to get them for one, there's no sense in having it, because that means I probably cannot afford to max it. And if I can't afford to max it, then I can't get the bonuses out of it. So it's kind of pointless in having it. So, like, I'm kind of the same way when it comes to things that are earned in ranking. If there's no sense in pushing it, like if I'm going to use it once out of a blue moon, then personally, for me, there's no sense in pushing for it in order to have it. Like, that one blue moon occasion, chances are that one blue moon occasion is not going to continuously pop up. So, like, just kind of a thing. Practicality is what I look at. Now, like, as far as overall March skins, I mean, I understand the purpose of having the bonuses, of having, like, you know, if you do pretty much everything, if you fight in fortresses, great. That's Battle for the Light, that's Home Gang, that's Fury Towers, Pop, etc., etc., etc. Then by all means, having one for towns, because then you would cover probably Raven Towers, your town in general. Well, maybe not Raven Towers, because unique location factors into that. But like, I mean, I don't know. I would have to, like, outweigh the benefits for how I use it. Because if I'm not going to use it, then there's no sense in having it. That's just my personal opinion. Also, but then again, I don't, like, kill myself for ranking. So, there's that. I mean, I've been working on the same town skins for the last, like, 6 months. But if you like to be competitive and you want to earn, like, absolutely everything, then by all means, more power to you and congratulations. May the odds be ever in your favor to get what you desire. Ugh. I do look forward to them doing more events like this, though. I think this is like an excellent idea as far as like location based versus it's just kind of all free for all. So yes and no. I mean, like, I don't, but here's the thing. Yes, yes, I do have a different perspective sitting in a top clan. Also, like, my gameplay hasn't really changed. I do the same thing here that I did. Well, let me put it this way. I did the same thing here that I did in Rhett, and I did the same thing in Rhett that I did in our little 5-person clan. My personal play has not changed. I don't spend any more than I already did. I don't earn any different rewards than I already did. I don't like push ranking anymore than I already did. So it's like yes and no. Yes, my perspective has changed, but at the same time, like, my gameplay overall has not. So, like, I mean, the thing that has changed, though, is so before, when I was, like, pushing ranking, if I decided to push ranking in an event, a lot of the people I pushed ranking against were people that are now in my clan. Now, it's like, now, I mean, it's kind of a thing of, like, all the people I would compete against for ranking are already in my clan. That makes no difference as far as ranking personals, because, I mean, it's kind of everybody for themselves either way. I do see more as far as, like, I do see more of things from the top perspective as far as, like, how easy it is to onslaught something, how easy it is to hold something, how easy it is to kill everything that is in something. But, again, like, it not changing my gameplay is, like, what the major thing is. Like, I have not changed the way I play at all. Except for now, I mean, now I have the ability to do more, like, towns. I mean, a 5-person clan doing, like, town OSs, like, the amount of troops we would go through is kind of, like, nuts. Versus, I mean, like, obviously, all of us here, like, the pain is spread. If we all bounce, the pain is spread across, like, 6 or 7 onslaughts. So, but yeah, I mean, yes, the perspective has changed while also not changing, if that makes sense. I will say this, being in a bigger clan is different than most people think. So, ooh, but I mean, the other thing is like where people are like, well, it's easier for you to get like town skins or this, that, or the other. Yes and no. So if our clan earns 200 million medals, town skin is 150 million, and there's like 90 people that need that town skin, you got to look at the fact of like, it's easier at that point if a smaller clan were to take 4 or 5 like events, 4 or 5 events to earn that many medals and have like 1 of 4 people get it versus like a clan of 100 people earn that many medals and have like 98 people need the same skin. Because either way, Like, somebody's getting it. It's just a matter of how many people are not going to get it. And every like big clan does that all differently. So now see, like, the difference of stronghold is phenomenal. Like, I would have, like, I don't think, for one, I wouldn't personally go back to like small clan play just because of like the amount of energy, time, and other stuff that we spent in our smaller clan to max all events. Like, not just money, but time. Like, the amount of time it took us to max like all of our events with like 4 or 5 of us doing it versus the amount of time it takes like us to max our event with like, 70 people doing the event are like entirely different. And then that's before you count in rewards. The difference of stronghold is insane. Like, the glory hall still makes quite a bit of difference. So, I mean, I wouldn't want to build a stronghold again, for one. For two, I wouldn't want to like try to earn all the glory points to max the stronghold's glory hall out anyway. That just sounds exhausting. Just saying that makes me want to take a nap. It's a lot. It's a lot. It would be a lot now. Like, to be a new player. I personally wouldn't do it. I mean, like, granted, I have an account that's like, semi-decently strong, and I am very comfortable with currently. So, like, there is no way I would ever build another account. I just wouldn't do it. Not to like discourage those that are starting or currently still building their account up from recently starting. More power to you. This community is amazing and will help you where they can. But like, I personally would not start over from the bottom. And that's everything from like building a stronghold to building an account in general, as far as like town skins, etc., etc., etc. There is so much in the last like 2 years that has changed. I can't necessarily imagine going back to like not having T7 done, let alone T8. Helheim, nope, wouldn't do it. No, just no. It took me 11 and a half, almost 12 months to max Helheim the first time. I spent just a year on the last node of that floor 10. There's no way. Nope. Nope. Exactly. Helheim's one of those things that for people still going through it, I'm sorry. And that's personal experience. That's not like anything to do with the game. That is personal experience. I can say this. When you get to floor 10, just buy the sword. Like here, there, and just buy it. Runes and gems. So like, runes now are way easier to get than when a lot of us got them. Like, of course, a lot of us spent like weeks on weeks of hitting ghosts when they came out in order to make our runes. Now it's like, wait for a supreme ghost to come out, kill 1 or 2 of those, and you'll probably have at least 6 to 8 perfect legendary runes. Not necessarily the ones you want, as far as like the way they're rolled now, but you'll have like 6 to 8 semi-decent, like, runes, out of killing that many ghosts. Then you better stock up on gold in order to roll runes, because we all know that's cheap and easy. Joke. That was a joke, FYI. Like, the farming level 6 ghost for runes was painstaking. Painstaking. It's like not having Uber Chiefs and doing our gear. That was like a painstaking process. There are things now that I can see that would make it slightly easier to build an account. As far as like time, not necessarily like, I mean, the affordability, you're going to spend the same amount either way. But like, as far as time, like, there's way more options now to save time when building an account than there was originally. Supreme Ghosts, Uber Chiefs, the amount of materials given out of events, because, I mean, of course, the events that have been rebalanced cater more towards those of us that have a lot of that stuff done. So, I mean, more gold, more boosts, more etc., etc. I don't know about, like, starting events because, like, I mean, I haven't done those for, well, years. But, like, the collecting material for equipment, the Helheim Fire, runes, gems, etc., 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 is all stuff I personally would not do again. Some people like doing that. I personally am not one of them. I don't find any bit of that enjoyable. So, henceforth, why an auto clicker is a thing? Hello, Gore! What have you yet? Like, see, that was like the waiting 3 weeks for the chief you needed, or hoping the king of Yacht picked the invader for the week you needed. Like, both of those were just like, you know, you'd log in, you'd look, and you'd be like, nope. It was just different. It's way easier now, respectively, to get the things you need when building an account quicker. Not necessarily cheaper, because, I mean, like, hitting an Uber Chief, you're going to spend more energy now than you would, like, killing a forest full of Ubers. Now, granted, when all of us were working on that, so were multiple other people. So, like, hitting an Uber was, like, you know, not necessarily plausible. I've been in lots of kingdoms where Ubers just don't exist. So... But it's just, I don't know. There's way other things that like, are just different now. I mean, we used to have to sit and, like, buy totems or obsidian or gold nuggets. Now I have enough gold nuggets to probably fund a small accounts buildings. Let me see. Yeah, 2.7 million, however far that would give me. I can't remember. But, like, then there's the other side of that too. The painstaking time spent collecting our town skins, our runic stones, our Asgard stones, waiting to see what comes out next season to see if it's like a town skin or a hero skin you need, and balancing between the two. And that's before you get into the things like VIP, or other aspects that are, like, you know, quite a few people are still working on, respectively. Like, the buildings and stuff in general are probably, like, the very easy part. of that comparatively to like the things like Asgard Stone or the things like VIP, etc., that just went up. There's like pretty much you'd have to go from like 0 to almost like 80 something to have VIP equivalent anymore. So oh Lord. All right, give me 1 second. One moment. Yes, the cumulative is massive. All right, give me 1 minute. I gotta get something to drink. Okay. Hello. Back. So like as we were saying, the cumulative like the stones and stuff being cumulative is massive also, but like think about how working with town skins, for instance, when the town skin came out, if we grabbed it, we could only go to like level 6. And then the town skin upgraded to like level, I don't know, 10. And then, or from 6 to 15. So like, I mean, we all had them like sitting at level 6 for a while. And then they got upgraded to 15, so we could slowly work our way up between either Asgard stones, runic stones, star shards, and then the requirements. Now, like starting over, you would have to like get the town skins for one, and then you'd have to get the stones needed to upgrade the town skin. And you're not just looking at like going to level 6. You're looking at the requirements from 0 to 15, the amount of stones, star shards, etc., instead of doing it step by step by step. You pretty much should just plan on getting a skin going from 0 to 15. Like, plan it out. That's going to be probably the easiest way to do it. An exchange of sorts. It would be kind of nice. Like, if we could trade our gold nuggets for like, if we could trade our gold nuggets for like Ultra Marble or totems for like totems for something similar. Like, versus it being like a versus it being a thing of them just sitting there. I mean, granted, our inventory like that, thank God, doesn't have space. Like it doesn't have like a allotted amount of space. Otherwise, like we would be trying to scrap stuff off real quick. The thing that kills me is like still getting hero keys and other stuff out of events. And it is easier, by the way, it is easier to be in a clan. Way easier. Hello! It is way easier to be in a clan. Solo play, personally, solo play is like, it's very limiting. There's not much you can do solo anymore. Now, like, playing in a clan is not necessarily, or playing in a large clan is not necessarily for everybody. But, like I've said before, take it for what it is. Find out what makes you happy and how you like to play, and play that way. There is, like I said, there's just no way I would build another account anymore. It's not something I would do. Starting over would not be in the cards for me. Yes, I did. So, if you guys do not know or are not aware, there is a form. 1 minute. Let me join this. There is a form to fill out for new levels of Sisyphus. Now, I've been told that the form to fill out the new levels will include the new levels. Like Sisyphus is going up. We all know how that works. And the form will give you at least 1 or 2 to 3 levels, depending on palace level, for the new levels of the achievement. Now, I don't know. I imagine this is a one-off for the holiday, because I cannot imagine like us getting levels of every achievement as they go up. But like it is kind of cool that we are getting levels of Sisyphus as the achievement goes up in general this month. Oh. So the big thing for Sisyphus, I mean, aside from offense against T4, is the number of warriors on a march. As we've seen in Battle for the Light, um, the more warriors you can send generally, the better you do. Yeah, more than likely. I mean, the fact that you get like 3 levels if you're palace level, whatever, 47 through 50, I think. I think it was 47 through 50. I can't remember. I mean, I read it, but at the same time, like, I mean, I'm a palace level 45. I couldn't go up higher if I wanted to because I don't have the stuff for it. But like, aside from that, the fact that like the higher palace levels you get, the more levels you get. I mean, it is an incentive for people to upgrade their palace. I mean, granted, you can't upgrade the palace after you fill out the form because you're only going to get the level that you said you had. So like, there's that. I don't know. I mean, like, I figure that, like, I figure those towers have a limit. I mean, I believe they have a limit that they can only hold so many troops. So I don't think it's really going to matter what your reinforcement percentage will be, considering the fact that, like, the tower can only hold so many troops. I mean, it's limited. If the tower only holds 450 million troops for reinforcements, for instance, and you have like a march size of 200 million or 250 million, and you tried to add like another 200 million to that, and the tower limit is like 400, it's only going to go to 400. So like, I don't know. I don't think the reinforcement will impact the reinforcement in Battle for the Light, because Battle for the Light so far is like capped. But I mean, unless they raise the limit on the towers in Battle for the Light, that could always be a possibility too. That is kind of one of the nice things about playing Battle for the Light, is that the simple fact of like everybody has the same opportunity to put the same amount of troops in a tower. It doesn't matter who it is. You're only going to fit that many troops in a tower. The march size is entirely different. Like, granted, the tower caps off, but the march size doesn't necessarily cap. So it's the march size that can be potentially painful. Does it go up? I'm not sure. Oh, it's individual limit. Okay, so I don't know. That would almost be a support question, because I don't think that's in the game guide. March size matters a ton. As far as the reinforcement limit, I don't know. I always figured that was capped for everybody. So, if it goes up, then I mean, well, basically, Battle for the Light, depending on who you get matched with, might essentially be like a personal Jotunheim, considering the fact that like you can ram into the towers as much as you want, but you're not going to pop somebody out. I'm just saying, if the reinforcement limit goes up, it's all going to come down to well, I mean, it already comes down to essentially draw. So, I mean, I don't know. I never really thought about if the tower limit changed per person. I just figured they were all across the board the same. Now I'll have to like investigate that. Yeah, like so I'll have to like I'll have to look at what the reinforcement size is. Um I'll have to look at what the reinforcement size is across a couple of different accounts. Yes. There are marches that are huge, by the way. Some of these guys have like, 835 million. The overall OS is I think 3.2, 3.3 billion now. The march size you're looking at for 835 million troops on an OS is this guy right here. Those of you that don't know, it's Game Ender. He's an awesome dude. I believe he still has the highest kill count in the game. And it's this, well, no, what is it? There's one achievement. Well, there's a lot of achievements that give a huge march size. But, yeah. Like, he's got, I think, the biggest march size I've seen in an OS on a town. I mean, there could potentially be bigger. His could be bigger if he had, the King of Yacht bonus, and there's one other thing. King of Yacht bonus gives a huge march increase bonus. Trying to think of what else. I think that would probably knock his up close to a billion. I think it would be about 1B if he had King of Yacht bonus. I'm not entirely certain. It might only be like 950 million. I can't remember how much that adds. Ugh. That's one of those decisions that's not in my purview of stuff. I don't know. I mean, the question could be asked, so like, why do we spend yacht burning so many towns? Again, I don't know. We just do. Ugh. I'm not in the position of things to know why decisions are made certain ways. I just purely follow the decision made. Oh Lord. Okay. That is pretty much it for me currently. I might be back later today. Like again, might be back later today. If I'm not back later today, I will definitely be doing a couple of streams tomorrow. Oh Lord. I hope you guys have an amazingly awesome and fun yacht. If I do not see you until tomorrow, I hope you have a fun and amazing rest of your day. Stay safe. Stay warm if you have cold weather. Stay cool if you have hot. I hope you guys have a fun and awesome rest of Jotunheim. I will see you guys around on the next live stream and around in the community. Thanks for watching.